Hi, and welcome back to our second part series on the business card refresh. In this section, we're going to talk to you about how this entire process impacts you guys as designers and give you some tips and feedback. So, first of all, we've had a lot of questions on the transfer and the migration. So if you had an old design, an old card, you don't need to do anything. We've actually already migrated your designs onto the new paper types. Rebecca mentioned in the last episode, we did default the new view to be the signature matte. So if you don't like that, you're welcome to go in and make your paper or re-merchandise your paper into another product type. So don't worry about the transfer of designs. Next, we did talk about the new sizes. So, like I said, we previously had the standard, the new name is Mighty, and then this is the Mini. We've added these new sizes. Actually, these two cards are going to be in a different product type, so let's focus on these 6 for now. Okay, so just so you know, we have so many different domains. For the US, we're going to default to the US standard because that's what our customers will probably expect. But if customers want, they can always change their view. But do realize as a designer that there's going to be different bleeds and different safe lines within each. But we've noticed a lot of you designers, without even our prompting, have taken our standard design and our Mighty design, and if you notice I'm lining them up, there's just more height, vertical height, but a lot of those designs, you've added extra bleed. So we've seen some with flowers that the flowers just continue to extend, and that's actually a really good practice. So if you guys continue to design with standard in mind, but extra bleed for the Mighty, that will work with the other sizes. Any other tips on that front?
No, I think, were you going to talk about the designing specifically for the other sizes?
I think, so that's the Mighty and that's the standard. We try and obviously allow the customers to, customize anything they want. And our square and our mini design are in the same product tool, but because they are such a different design area than these, we suggest that you design these separately, just so that it's just more specific to those sizes. That being said, we also do have a SKU filter that we've set up so you can limit your sizes. Next, in our last episode, I kind of teased about the colored papers having a different print process. So Rebecca is going to explain that process and what we're doing to give you guys options and customers options.
Okay, thank you, Monica. I'm so excited about these premium colored papers. White ink is a process that is hard to do, and it's rare to find, especially online. Most times you see white ink, it is done through screen printing, which is very nice. It yields very nice results, but it is extremely expensive.
So wait, let's take a step back.
Yes.
So we have these colored papers, and if you look at the contrast, you'll notice that this one is kind of more muted, and this one is more vivid, shall we say. So basically when she says white ink, we go in and you have the option as designers for us to add a base layer of white before we print on, before we add the other ink color. So it's not necessarily white coming through, but basically we're adding it so the white pops, so the ink pops more.
Yes, so it's like a layer of white that goes under, similar to priming a canvas with gesso. There's a layer that goes on before you put the actual
Yeah.
design.
So that's what we're talking about. We're actually calling this the natural process and this the vivid process. So there's not many places that allow you to have that option. And so we're developing something so that you guys can pick based on your design what process you want. So do you want to walk us through some of the examples to give them a better feel of how this could really impact their designs?
So you can achieve a very different look by either choosing the natural process or the vivid process.
Yeah.
As you can see with the natural process, it's really letting the unique qualities of that paper shine through, so you still see the paper through the design, the printed design. In the case of the vivid process, you will not, where we have the design printed, you'll no longer see the paper through the design.
More.
It definitely pops more and is more vivid, hence the name.
And I think it's really noticeable when you look at people's faces. So this is the one in the natural, and this is the gray, and then this is the vivid. So you can see her face really pops more, and it gives more emotion. So I think it really depends on what emotion you're trying to elicit with your design, but the fact that we have these options, I think just gives you the option to choose.
Yeah, you can achieve the effect you can achieve with the natural process. You can get some really beautiful artistic imagery for photographers.
I love this. It's more muted and you can really focus on the kids, but they're kind of the background. So I really love the different looks, but I also like, if your design is about makeup and you want to make it pop, we have that option as well. So we're excited to be introducing this process on Zazzle, and we hope you guys like this process. So next we're going to move into SEO implications. So obviously we have kind of refreshed the products. You actually don't have to do anything because our SEO team is that awesome. So continue to tag the products as you normally do. We had a previous Zazzle chat on tagging. The tag, we are doing a lot of the product work. So for example, if it's a Mighty card, you don't need to go and say Mighty card. We've tagged large, oversized on the back end, so you don't have to do that. We want you guys to focus on the design of your card. So if it's a makeup artist, if it's for a makeup artist, if it's watercolor, use those words and not describing the actual product, because we are doing that on our end. We are also adding additional filters and facets so that on the left side it'll be easier to shop. So stay tuned for those. Those should be coming up shortly if they're not already live. And then lastly, we have these new sizes, and you've been looking at new business cards for the last year or so. Can you give our designers some suggestions for designs or what we're seeing popular in the marketplace, especially when we have kind of these new sizes and then the new folded cards?
Okay, the folded ones I'm really excited about. These have shed some examples, but for something like a loyalty or rewards card, there's just a lot of space to design here, so you can put a full business card design here. You could have your punch card design here, utilize the backspace. The nice thing is it can stand up and sit on a counter.
And then again, like I said, there's different orientations, so you guys can design it in different orientations as well. And the same goes for this, either this way or this way. The fold's just different. So like Rebecca said, these are going to be good for appointment cards, loyalty cards, and really it's paper, so you can just don't be limited. The only thing you're limited to is your imagination. So, think of whatever you guys can. We're excited for all the designs. The other design that we're calling for is our square. So that's a new design size. I think it's really popular with like the Instagram format, so maybe social media stuff. It's a unique size. Don't be limited to just business card designs. We see a lot of potential for that as well. And then we were just talking about what design trends that we're seeing popular. So, modern watercolor, kind of bold minimalism designs have been doing really well on the site.
Yes, and particularly for, I think, really to think about the kinds of the papers that we have, and each one was selected because it has a very specific look, feel, style, and I think there are, obviously for a craft, a more rustic, natural, organic, maybe an artisan bakery, or there are things there, I'm sure you designers know this very well, but the gray is it's a timeless color, classic color, but it's also very modern at the same time. I think, especially for the gray and the black, those minimalist, bold color designs that you were talking about would do really well. So a single color, just a very dramatic white ink on black makes a big statement, I think is pretty a powerful way to design on these.
Yeah. So, this business refresh, Rebecca's been working on it for a long time. We're so excited that it's finally out. We really have gone through a lot of work to really make sure that our offering is up to par for both you, the designers, and the customers. And now we're just excited to see what you designers can bring to the table. Without further ado, we'll let you get back to work. Thanks for tuning in to this episode, and if you have any questions, hit us up on the forums.